Good morning, students. Last class we started with the chapter transport of food and minerals in plants. In transport of food and minerals in plants, the tissues which is responsible for transport it was explained. The conducting tissues, that is vascular tissues, and the conducting tissues are xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem components. Why xylem and phloem? That it is called complex tissues. Difference between xylem and phloem, this much it was explained in that previous class. Today, right now, once again I am going to explain the difference between xylem and phloem. So xylem and phloem. Okay, xylem is a complex tissue because xylem consists of 4 different types of elements. The elements are xylem vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. Such type of 4 elements are there. In case of phloem, phloem is also a complex tissue. Phloem, the 4 elements which is present in phloem are seed tube, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Each element is having its own function. Seed tube and companion cells, that which helps in transport of food materials. Phloem parenchyma, that which helps in storage of food material, and phloem fibers give mechanical strength to phloem. This way all the elements of phloem helps in that same process, same function, that is conduction of food material from the surface of the leaf towards various parts of the plant. Now what is the difference between xylem and phloem? Xylem is water conducting tissue, phloem food conducting tissues. Xylem mostly formed of dead cells, phloem mostly formed of living cells. These two are the main difference between xylem and phloem. Next topic of this chapter, absorption of water and minerals. Absorption of water and minerals from the soil with the help of root, and root specially adapted for the process of absorption with the help of root hair. So here in this plant, here you can see this is the root part and that which it is growing under soil, and root system is present, and here in case that is root minute hair like structures that you can see. This hair like structure which is present there in the main root, that is called a root hair. This type of hundreds of root hairs that which is present in case of a root, and that is responsible for absorption of water from the soil. And this root hair that is having some special characteristics. The first characteristics of root hair, that is unicellular. Unicellular means it is made up of a single cell. That is why it is called unicellular, and thin walled. That this is the special characteristic that which is helps in absorption of water molecule from soil towards the cell. So unicellular and thin walled, and large number of root hair present on a root, that which is helps to increase the surface area for absorption. And all of these cells that which is replaced with the help of new cells, mainly that it is formed from the root tip region. There the meristematic tissues are present. Meristematic tissues are responsible for the formation of new root hair cells. Okay, now next we will learn how to draw the structure of a root hair. So root hair. Root hair, this structure that which is present outside the epidermis of a cell. So this is the epidermal part, and the root hair it is like this. This is the cell, and this epidermis or the outside part of the cell that which it is covered with the 2 membranes, like this way. 2 membranous covering present in case of a root hair and cell. This outer membrane, that is the cell wall. The inner one, that it is the cell membrane. the cell wall is freely permeable and solvent molecule can get enter inside through cell wall. Cell membrane is selectively permeable, only selected particles can get enter inside, and here inside that vacuole is present. In case of a plant cell, most area that which is occupied with the help of a vacuole, and inside this vacuole cell sap is present, cell sap. And the function of vacuole is that to give turgidity to the cell, and inside the cell sap that which it is hypertonic or highly concentrated solution is present. So here in the cell a nucleus is also present. Nucleus is the controlling part of the cell. Like this way, this is the root hair, it is unicellular, and this unicellular structure and thin wall. The outer two membrane is covering cell wall and cell membrane. Now this is the diagram that which shows the structure of a root hair, and already now you learned how to draw the structure of a root hair. So this in this diagram that you can see here, that is this is the vacuole which is present inside, and here the nucleus is present, and this is the root hair, and here that it is cell membrane, and this is the cell wall. Cell wall is the outer membrane is covering, cell membrane is the inner membrane is covering, present inner to cell wall, and the cell wall is freely permeable and cell membrane is selectively permeable. Means cell wall, through cell wall in solvent which can get enter inside freely, but through the cell membrane only selected particle can get enter inside this vacuole, and here in this root hair that it is filled with the cell sap, highly concentrated solution, and here cytoplasm is also present. So this is the complete structure of a root hair, and like this way here you can see this is that a tap root. On this tap root there are many large number of root hairs which is present. This is the structure of a root hair. Look, this is another picture that which shows that how the root hair which is absorbing water from the soil. So water is present in the soil, but that water that it is to be transported inside the plant cell, and then it is to be reached there on the surface of the leaf for the process of photosynthesis. So from the soil, how water and minerals that which reach towards the surface of the leaf, that's a very big process. And for the transportation of water and minerals from the soil towards the surface of the leaf, the root hair which is absorbing water from the soil, for that through a process, that process that it is called osmosis. So osmosis is one process. Like that way many other process that which it is taking place for the absorption of water. That is, one is that osmosis that you are going to study. Another method is that active transport, passive transport, imbibition, diffusion. These are the different methods by which the plants they are absorbing water and minerals. So here in this chapter, that absorption of water and minerals, here you are going to study osmosis in detailed way with the help of many experiments. The detailed study of osmosis, that it will be experimental setup and demonstration, that it will be in the next class. So today we started with the difference between xylem and phloem. Then after that the main point, absorption of water and minerals with the help of root hair. Root hair, its characteristics: root hair cells are unicellular, thin-walled outgrowth of the epidermis, and they helps to increase the surface area for absorption of water and nutrients from the soil, because they are so many huge numbers are present. Root hair cells are large in number, but they are short-lived. They are all on a sudden continuously replaced with the help of new cells. And the root hair cells are in close contact with the water surrounding the soil particle, and the water particle that which it is absorbed into the cell with the help of a process that it is called osmosis. Osmosis is a process, that is a movement of water. The movement of water from lower concentration to higher concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. So this is the process. Movement of water molecule from lower concentration. Here lower concentration means the water which is present there in the soil. To higher concentration. To higher concentration means the highly concentrated cell sap is present inside the vacuole of a plant cell. That is why movement of water molecule from lower concentration to higher concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. Here, while explaining the structure of root hair, I mentioned about two membranes. One is that outer cell wall that is freely permeable, and the next inner to that cell wall, cell membrane is present, that is semi-permeable or otherwise selectively permeable. So that is why here in this process, the semi-permeable membrane, cell membrane is also play a very important role. That is why osmosis means movement of water particles from lower concentration to higher concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. This process will be demonstrated and explained it in the next class. Thank you.